Hello once again, Niner Faithful, and welcome back to another episode of 49ers Playbook on the channel that's trying to answer the whys and hows of the game. This past Sunday, the 49ers were able to steamroll the Arizona Cardinals, adding to their 6-game win streak. Since the bye week, the 49ers have been averaging 34.5 points per game, while only allowing 15.6 points per game. They're winning by an average of almost 20 points per game. On the season, San Francisco is number one in point differential by a wide margin. Much of that has been the result of an explosive element brought to the offense by MVP frontrunner Brock Purdy. What makes Brock Purdy so special is his ability to make all the routine plays look routine, but also being able to make the aggressive big play and off-schedule plays when they're there. I've been laid up with the 24-hour bug at just the wrong time, so this week's episode will be a little bit shorter, but we're going to take a look at some key plays on offense and a handful of plays on defense. I'll cover some of the lapses in run defense on my podcast, the JFA podcast, later this week, but let's jump to the film and see how the 49ers were able to score a season-high 45 points on the Arizona Cardinals. You're watching Johnny Dell's Football Academy. So this wasn't a huge play, but set up several plays later, so I'm going to show this, and it's also a great example of how Brock Purdy makes all the routine plays, and we'll also show what the Cardinals are trying probably at least 70% of the game. So this is something we did to the Eagles as well, but you're going to see Kittle shift across and then motion late into a 4x1 set. Why do we use 4x1? I had somebody mention on my last video how it could be useful to dive into this a little bit, so we will. The Cardinals run a very cover 4 based defense under Jonathan Gannon, cover 4 being 4 deep and 3 underneath. That may sound like it would give up a ton of underneath throws, but sort of. The way Gannon's rules work, they always look to keep 4/3 and 3/2, with clean matching rules. So by going 4x1, it forces the defense to commit a 5th defender to that side to keep +1 in the numbers. But this does disrupt the matching rules of the defense on the single receiver side, or they have to concede the numbers advantage. I know that's a mouthful, but here the Cardinals will cross-key a quarters safety. So essentially you've got Ayuk one-on-one with a quarters corner who has to protect deep. So we'll run Ayuk on a branch route, which is an 8-yard out route. One thing you'll see is at the snap, the Cardinals will drop an extra man in cover 48, or cover 4 with an 8-man drop. I saw this so many times in this game. But Brock Purdy's fundamentals are so good here. The Cardinals didn't give a clean look on this pre-snap, but he sees it, 3 steps, ball out, great location. And it doesn't matter that his center is getting pushed back into him. The offense is off and running. Then we do get an explosive in the run game, and there's some good things here, but I want to talk about this from the end zone because I love Deebo Samuel, but there are these plays that just make you want to pull your hair out. We're running a toss zone, and Samuel is responsible for picking up the safety. He ends up taking a bad angle on the safety and never gets him. Okay, go pick up someone else. Go find work. Instead, he just stops. 34 will go right by him. And who's the guy who forces McCaffrey out of bounds? 34. This play, though, is made by textbook execution on zone blocking by Williams and Banks and Kittle and Warner. We then get the first touchdown of the game to Deebo Samuel. So this is a real nice way of taking advantage of something they saw from film from the first time these two teams played. So let's go back. This is week 4 and the team was in the red zone. We're going to motion Deebo across and are going to run a wide zone away from him. They set this look up with Ayuk out wide for a possible screen to draw backside pursuit. But Deebo kind of does what Deebo does and doesn't run this all out. Notice, right when the defenders see Deebo isn't 100% on this, they drop off him and pursue inside, while the corner was locked in on Ayuk. So here, we now leverage this for space. We have Jennings in close and are going to run him on a slant route. Then bring Deebo in motion and sort of have him lazy this route, then fake wide zone away from him, and the pursuit is there, and you pop Deebo wide open for the touchdown. But here's a look into what Kyle saw on film that led to this play. This is how the sausage is made. I want to take a quick break to tell you about our affiliate, White Oak Pastures. I'm not just an affiliate, I'm a customer. They don't send me a bunch of free product. I love their product so much, I'm a customer as well. I've been loving so many of their pasture-raised, forage-fed pork products, from pork kebabs to lard for baking as well as a substitute for oils, and their sausages are just incredible. They have pancetta, chorizo, sugar-free breakfast sausage, bratwurst, all different kinds. They're all fantastic. The best part is, it's so much better for you. Pasture-raised and forage-fed pork has a fat profile the same as olive oil or avocado oil, with large amounts of vitamin D and E. I also recently tried their piggyback blend ground beef. They take a lean cut of grass-fed, grass-finished beef and mix in some of their pasture pork fat. It's juicy, tender, but think of it like having ground venison or lamb cooked in olive oil while taking a vitamin E or vitamin D supplement. It's food that's high quality, good for you, good for the environment, and tastes amazing. It comes to you frozen at the farm and sent to you in a cooler packed in dry ice via 2-day shipping. Check it out now at whiteoakpastures.com/JD49. The link is in the description and you'll get $20 off your order of $150 or more. That's whiteoakpastures.com/JD49. Then we get a pick six, and this is again good adjustments off something from film from the first meeting. So to understand this, let's go back and look at this clip from my review of the first Cardinals game and a third down we gave up. Alright, then we're going to see the first not so good. Again, there's this idea that we didn't play press man. Well, it's third down and we're in press man, and the Cardinals are going to come with the old mesh concept. It's been used to beat press man for decades now, and you see why. Oliver gets picked on the cross traffic, and we give up a completion for a first down. If you're going to press on these, you better be able to jam that receiver hard and disrupt the timing on this. We've been susceptible to these types of plays in man. It's 4th and 3, and the Cardinals are going to run the same play, albeit out of a slightly different formation, but it's a mesh concept. But now we're in cover 3 zone. This is where the adjustment from what the Cardinals and Kyler Murray saw and expected on film makes the difference. The mesh can work well against cover 3 zone as it puts the defense in a triangle stretch. If the two shallow crossing routes are matched by the hook curl defenders, the middle hook will be open. That's exactly what happens here, but Kyler is expecting man coverage. He's looking to the shallow crossers, which are taken away, and by the time he moves the hook over the middle, Charvarius Ward is able to see it and drive on the hook, pick it off, and then takes it the distance. From the end zone, you can see how the defensive look disrupts Kyler. Watch the hitches. Hitch, hitch, hitch. Think of that compared to Brock Purdy on the first play. 3 steps, ball out. This is 5-step drop, hitch, 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 ball out. That's great game planning by Steve Wilks and the defense, and Mooney Ward for making a great play. But back to some of these plays that Brock Purdy makes look so routine, but they just aren't. Here we start out with Ayuk split wide and motion him inside. The Cardinals are showing man coverage here with 2 deep safeties in cover 2 man. Cover 2 man is soft over the middle. We have Kittle on an in-breaking route to the 3 receiver side. To the top, we have Ayuk on a branch route. At the snap, the Cardinals are sitting in cover 2 double robber, where instead of 2 deep half safeties, they have 2 inside help defenders short. If we roll it back, look at Purdy. He's not predetermining this throw. His eyes are first to the safety, sees them sit, and he knows he wants Ayuk. So his head moves to Ayuk where he sees Ayuk has outside leverage. Then the anticipation on the throw. He's in his windup, Ayuk is at the 35 and will catch this outside at the 38. But notice, this is a far hash throw. I know I've said this multiple times before, but I don't want to hear people say Brock Purdy doesn't have a strong arm or a strong enough arm. He can make all the throws. If he can make this throw, which we see in almost every game, his arm is strong enough to make all the throws. This is the far hash out route, the most dangerous throw in football, because just like you see here, if he's late or this throw doesn't have enough on it or is behind, this throw is a pick 6. But absolutely perfect ball placement. From the end zone, watch the eyes. Safety, corner, throw. On time, perfect location. This is so good. Then, after getting hurt for a few plays, Brock Purdy comes in and on 3rd down makes an off-schedule play. So the Cardinals are showing heavy pressure man coverage. We have an arches concept dialed up, which is a shallow crossing route paired with an arches route. At the snap, the Cardinals back out in 49 tricks. It's cover 4 tricks with 9 men in coverage. That's a mouthful, but they're manning up on Ayuk and CMC while playing quarters coverage and still have 4 underneath zones. So Purdy has nowhere to go with the ball. But he doesn't panic, climbs the pocket, keeps his eyes downfield, and with Ayuk being manned up, it leaves space. Kittle runs to it, and Purdy drops the ball in there, and Kittle makes a heck of a one-handed catch. Just put yourself in Gannon's shoes. You watch film on Purdy and see the Giants blitz more than any team in modern NFL history against Purdy, and he shreds the blitz. So you play 7-man coverage, and he sets a franchise record for completion percentage against you. Then, in this game, you're dropping 8 and 9 men in coverage, and he still completes passes against you. What do you do? Then Purdy hits CMC for another touchdown. We first motion Jennings across, and the shift of the defense reveals man coverage. With no safety deep, this is showing cover 1-man lurk. We have 2 concepts dialed up. First is what I've known as an Ohio. Kyle calls it Tony. You have a protection release fade paired with a quick out, or what Kyle calls a Tony route. Against man coverage with inside help, this is your number 1 look here. Then we have an arches concept, which I just talked about. You can watch Purdy work it first outside. They have outside leverage on Jennings, so he moves to the arches. Sees the lurk defender take Kittle, and moves to McCaffrey for the touchdown. Full field read in the red zone, gets to his 3rd read on the play, so good. Crazy thing is, watch the throw and he gets stepped on while he's throwing. But from behind, watch the eyes. Looks right, comes back middle, then McCaffrey. After halftime, we get another play, and again, what does Gannon do? We're running a couple concepts here. We have a sail concept to the 3 receiver side, then a drive concept to the 2 receiver side with a basic route paired with a drive route. The Cardinals are showing heavy pressure. We have to understand, against zero pressure, the hot here is usually Deebo Samuel's short in route. At the snap, the Cardinals back out in Tampa 2 zone with a sim pressure. But with the mic shaded to the 3 receiver side and Buddha faking a blitz then dropping, he's got Kittle right away over the middle. Purdy sees it, stares it down, and hits Kittle with a perfect ball over the middle. They manufacture a free rusher against 7-man coverage, and Purdy still gets an explosive play. Then he follows it up with a huge off schedule to CMC. So people are saying, yeah, it's easy to throw TDs when your guys are so wide open. Well, CMC isn't even in this progression. We have a few deep concepts where on the backside, we'll add in what's called a rail route or a fade down the sideline from the running back as a way to hold a backside player from matching a receiver across the field. The real concept here is a Yankee concept, where you'll have a seam route or post route paired with a high crosser and then a flat route. That's where they're trying to work the ball on a 3-level vertical stretch. But the Cardinals get immediate pressure while only bringing 3 guys on a rush. They're dropping 8 men in coverage. But the backside quarters player ended up matching across the middle and vacated his deep quarter. Purdy was able to avoid the rush, gets his eyes downfield, and locates McCaffrey on the busted coverage for the touchdown. Then on another drive, CMC gets a touchdown, and I love his physicality in the run game. Watch him just run through a guy for the touchdown. Then Brock Purdy's going to cap this off with another touchdown for a 4-touchdown day. So the Cardinals are showing some possible pressure. Post-snap, they'll come with an invert tricks. This is a bit different. Normally you see the trick safety on the other side, but we have a Florida swirl here. That's where you have Debo on a protection release fade, then Jennings on a Gronk route, which is real similar to a Tony route, then Kittle on a Miami route, which will sit over the middle, then work back outside, then Ayuk on a swirl route, which will break like a corner route, but sit down instead. Then CMC will be a flat route. I say all that to point this out. Debo is an alert. The progression on this play is Jennings number 1, Kittle number 2, Ayuk number 3, CMC number 4. But Purdy sees Debo with press man, and once he sees there's no safety help, he's going to Debo. People say it's the system, it's the weapons. No, it's not. Watch the location on this back shoulder throw. This is good coverage, better throw, and better catch. I know I'm skipping a ton of defensive stuff and run game stuff, but like I said, I was sick all day yesterday and got way behind. We're going to finish this up with Mooney Ward getting a pick to seal the game. We're showing single high pre-snap and will be in cover 3 buzz. The Cardinals have a dagger concept dialed up with a clearing route paired with a dig or deep in route. This is another case of good team defense. As Kyler drops back, he sees Jair Brown take the inside route and he wants the dig. But Fred Warner got good depth, and so Kyler is going to try and layer this throw over Fred Warner, but not everyone can make the throws Purdy can. And it sails a little, and Mooney Ward shows off some good ball skills to come down with the pick. Overall, even with the team winning by 2 scores, the game wasn't as close as the score would suggest. With a loss by the Eagles on Monday night, the 49ers can secure the number 1 seed in the NFC with wins in their next 2 games. Normally with a big game like this ahead, I try and get a scouting video out, but the kids come first, and so no scouting video this week with Christmas coming up. I truly appreciate all the support from everyone this season, so thank you so much, and if you'd like to support the channel in any way, I'll have links for that below. But until next time, Merry Christmas, and go Niners!